Hi, I'm Fallen and this is Automation. Today we'll be giving another try to CVT gearbox. I gave it some thought and I think I've got the general idea of how it is supposed to work. So we'll be testing that in, well, basically a build that considers a modern sedan. So the build will be made with, well, track in mind too. I will try to keep quite high body weight to horsepower ratio. So it will be quite powerful for what it is, but I will try not to go overboard, as some of you suggested in the comments on my first try. I feel like 200-250 horsepower per 1000 kilograms of mass should be fine. Sedan will be around 2000, so I guess we'll be aiming for 400 to 500 horsepower with this build. Let's go with quite unusual picks for me. Aluminium monocoque AHS steel for chassis and longitudinal placement on the front for the engine. I want it to be all-wheel drive, so we will see if I will be able to stay like that. Wishbone on the front and pushrod on the rear, just to mix things up. And well, this build, as I said, is going to be more track based. Now it's the time for the most important part of every build. Okay, we haven't really built anything yet and the game says we have some major issues. Okay. Anyway, we're going to go quite unusual again. I want to make an inline 5 engine. Let's say it is inspired by Volvo engines, especially the T5 ones. If I remember correctly, these are 2.3, 2.4 liter turbo ones, making something around 250 horsepower. So yeah, let's try making something Volvo-like. It has to be said now that I am not going to copy this engine, the Volvo engine that is, and make it in-game right now. I might do that in the future to do a reboot of my series in recreating engines, but right now I am making something, well, of my own, really, other than, well, copying the capacity, the actual capacity of the engine. Let's go with 5 volts per cylinder, why not? So yeah, let's focus on tuning this thing up to our needs. Billet steel would be fine. Here we have to go with forged likely or titanium. Okay, this will be quite expensive build. That much I can say now. With the balancing mass set at 0, we can move on. Compression, do I want to turbo it? Probably. So 9.021 for now. Cam profile will be quite high because we are aiming at, well, a red line at 8000. Very likely. Do we want VVT? Not right now. Let's set the RPM limit. We'll come back to turbo in a second, or let's just set it right now. Injection direct per cylinder. Performance high, let it be right now. Fuel will be regular, I am not going anything higher. Turbo mid should be fine. We have to restrict this engine anyway, because we will be, yeah, quite high with the power and the torque. So I guess it is time to tune it. The thing that's restricting us the most here right now is the turbo and the exhaust for some reason. Let's make it bigger and move on to turbo tuning. Don't tell me we'll need to go with race headers. Okay, well, let's stay with them, at least for now. And I guess it is time to make this turbo quite a bit different. Probably we'll be able to shrink the exhaust and change the headers back after the initial turbo tuning. The engine looks much better now. The boost begins low on the RPM at 3000, and basically we have the torque curve flat there, so I guess that could be fine. I am not sure how it will work with CVT. Again, I am quite new to this. We'll see in practice, I guess. I don't know what this stat is and what it is supposed to mean. Anyway, let's quickly sum up what I made with this engine. Compression rate is 8 to 1, cam profile quite high, springs and lifters doesn't matter right now, to be honest. I guess we can make them a bit higher. As you can see, our throttle response is at 100 anyway. Also, I've added VVT. Does it give us a lot of power? Quite a bit, but let's stay on intake only. Turbo is like this. It is quite big for the size of the actual engine. I'd say it's huge, but well, can't do much more about it because the engine completely breaks if I move it. I guess I could reduce its size again, make the compressor more restrictive here. Okay, let's go with something around 500 horsepower top. In terms of fuel system, not much has been changed, only the fuel map, the timing, ignition, and manifold size is a bit bigger. The headers, I haven't changed them yet. I guess we can go to mid, but it lowers significantly the power, so let's just make them smaller. Like so. Do we want the valve bypass? Not really. Exhaust is fine as it is, because I will be adding a muffler to it. So okay, I guess we need to make it even bigger. One has to be said about these inline 5 engines. They do sound like baby V10s, basically. Yeah. So that is the engine done. I guess we are going to design this thing now. I don't know what morphs can we do here. Let me fiddle with it for a bit. There are quite a few morphing areas on this car, but I guess I will settle on that. You can see how many of them are on this body. Quite a bit of them. I always have the issues with making the modern cars. I don't know why is that, I just don't know. Maybe I don't like them that much. But it seems I can't really make them look natural. So this one will be a pain to design too. I don't know. I should go with something like a grill like this. So more curvy, or just straight corners, something like this. Or maybe mix them. This could work. I guess I am onto something here. It doesn't look that bad. Quite modernish. Also, I already know how I will call this car. It will be up to my Millennia brand. Well, to call it is too much to be said, because I don't know how to name model of this car. I guess I will come up with something before this, well, design part of this video ends. Well, I've spent much too much time on the front of this car, but I guess the results are worth it. The grille I am really happy with. I am going to keep it and probably use it on other build from this brand. Also, I named it already. The brand name is of course Millennia, but the model is Touring R. So it gives this sporty vibe. Also, this piece here, it is basically 2 splitters put together and a lip to cover some holes, but it looks quite neatly if you don't pay attention to this piece. it is practically impossible to cover it in any way. So mirrors, door handles, wipers, a tail fin, and a fuel cap are in place. I guess I could place some kind of a side skirt here to keep this black line along on the whole car. Okay, I've decided to define the front a little bit more, so there's this small scoop and then a relic of previous era, if you will. The side skirt, well, quite simple, nothing much, but I guess it changes the overall look a bit. I was thinking of placing an additional vent here, but I am not sure about it. Nothing really feels like it was from here, especially with these indicators. I guess I will be keeping it simple this way. The only thing left is the rear end. I was thinking of giving it a little spoiler, and I don't know. What taillights should I bring here? The wide ones or the simple ones? Here's the general idea of what I want to do with the rear end. Some badges, quite simple, already made tail lights, and all that's left to be done here is some definition, that is body molding, and this spoiler I was talking about. I still want to add it. I don't know which one. We'll be trying few things out. It won't be anything like overboard like this, but something that would well, fill this line of the car, of this body. The last thing to do here is this set spoiler. As you can see, double barrel, and the one will be fake, because, well, we are single exhaust on this car due to turbo, single turbo. I am quite liking the overall look of this car for now. I guess the rims are left also, so let's try a few spoilers or wings out and do the rims. Call me weird, but I moved the braking light from the trunk to the actual spoiler, to the wing, and I'm quite fond of these looks. So yeah, the last thing here is the rims, and we are going to be on this bad boy. Okay, we can do all-wheel drive, that's good to know. Now we are free to do the final touches. I am not sure what's the difference between these all-wheel drive types, and if they will make any difference in BeamNG.drive. Probably not. So I guess, considering it's a modern car, let's go with advanced all-wheel drive. Gearbox, we are going continuous, so CVT. Gearing, top speed, we will be changing that later. I am really tempted to give it clutch trace LSD just for the well, sound of it. If you remember my last build, the muscle one, it had this and it well, sounded great. Also, let's move the power a bit to the back. So it is probably, it will be much more fun to drive around. Okay, tire type, sports compound. We will have to make these tires significantly bigger. For now, let's go like this. We will have the ride height to be changed later on in the suspension, so probably I will change the tire size, the rim size later on. Okay, carbon ceramic, 6 piston on the front. Let's go with something for the looks. Okay, these brakes can be huge. 380s would be fine. And similar way on the rear. Aerodynamics, under tray. Let's go this way. Interior, well, it will be luxury premium. Oh, There's new setting for race, so I guess that's the wave reduction. Maximal wave reduction. It is quite significant, as you can see. Basic and, well, a race is basically half of it. That's fun. Moving on, electric variable with ESC and launch control. We can turn it off later, no problem. Advanced safety. And we are 1800 kilos. It should be fine. Okay, now the suspension. I guess this time I've hit some demographics. I could sell this car in the campaign. That's neat. Okay, this settings I am not going to change much more. It is going to be something between the daily and sports cars, so it is fine. Again, we have issues with wheel spin for some reason. I guess we have a lot of acceleration. Let's see the aerodynamics. Almost none, which is strange considering the amount of splitters I've put here and the rear wing. I guess changing the angle gives us some of it. This way the aerodynamics should be fine. We have some downforce there, so we should stick to the ground nicely. Some cornering G's are there. So I guess we could potentially take some turns with high speeds. Also, I am always setting the breaker flow. I am not sure if it gives anything in BeamNG.drive, but I never had any issues with them overheating in game when I set them on the automation here. So yeah, the brakes need some tuning. Front force. That is strange. We have huge brakes and still we are having issues with braking. Setting them like this should be good enough. I guess we are going back to our CVT setting. I guess I can go to much higher speeds, or not that much. 307 kilometers per hour is tops. What does this setting change? First gear. Okay. Strange. This setting here seems to eliminate our wheel spin issues completely, but it also kinda breaks the car in a way that it doesn't accelerate. So I guess I am going to leave it at the default setting and set the top gear around our top speed, I guess. So 312 should be fine, yeah. I guess the car is done. The only thing left here is to export it into BeamNG.drive, and we'll drive it around on probably a Laguna Seca track, or well, definitely around some BeamNG map. I will try it also in a drag race. So yeah, this is how it looks in its final form. I might just move the wave to the rear a bit so it is a bit more balanced. Okay. Okay, it is done. We are in BeamNG.drive. I must say, this car looks kinda like a weird mix of Nissan GT-R on the front with some kind of a Kia. I don't know why, but there's a badge missing from the back. I guess I could try fixing it later on, but the other badge is also kinda demolished. Anyway, these are only minor issues. Overall, this car looks great. Now let's hear it, let's give it a try. Driving it around. Okay. The exhaust for some reason is behind actual exhaust and a bit lower. This pipe here is massive. ESC works constantly. Man, I will never get used to CVT. Guess we are a little bit too low to the ground. The brake light I've placed on the wing looks quite neat, even in BeamNG.drive. I don't know what's with these tail lights, why they are so bright now. The brakes on this thing are way too weak. As I was taking corners around, I was doing it on a handbrake basically. Because when you press the brake button, the car still goes completely straight. But it isn't that bad. You could get used to it. Let's see the top speed of this thing. I've set it on 312 or something like that. Wonder how fast it will go. Yeah. 290 was max and the road ended. So I guess it could go up to 300, but it takes way too much time to accelerate to that speed. Let's try it out in a drag race against my other CVT. We'll see if it's any better. Okay, it isn't. I guess the other car has the almost 1000 horsepower, and this one is like... what? It was 500. 11.3. The main trial will be here on Laguna Seca, this time without the rolling start, as it is, well, a bit broken. The first corner, not that bad. Definitely better than the Hellhound. And definitely better than my last CVT build. And I overshoot the corner. It is not that bad to drive, really. The brakes could be better, because right now they are terrible. 6-piston ceramic brakes, 380 each. You would think they will be better, but maybe it's up to what type, not sure. I am sure though this car doesn't need ESC at all. It's way more fun to drive without it. It is easy to control. Sliding fairly nicely, as you've seen here. Yeah, so we'll be around 2 minutes a lap without rolling start. Yep, 1 minute 55. This car really wants to slide. I did not intend for it to be a drift car at all, but it seems to be much easier to take some corners sideways than braking into them. It just constantly loses grip. As this corner, yeah. Much faster to drift into it than brake and, well, lose a lot of time. So yeah, I guess that will be all for today's video. We'll be finishing it off here. Hopefully not hitting any walls. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.